Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
The great state of Texas sets an example for the entire country, standing up against pressure and passing a pro-life bill. I am Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me on the phone is Matt Krause. Matt Krause was litigation counsel for Liberty Counsel, graduated from Liberty University School of Law, and is now a member of the State House of Representatives in Texas. And Matt, welcome. You were one of the co-sponsors on this pro-life bill that caught the attention of the country.
That's right. An honor to do it.
Now, you had to really go against a lot of opposition because the YouTube videos have gone around the country. They've gone viral. There were people that were chanting, "Hail Satan." There were threats that were given against members of your representative, House of Representatives, and other legislative leaders because they were standing up for life. Tell us a little bit and walk us through what this bill does and what happened in Texas.
Yeah, honored to do it. There's really four main components to the bill that we passed. And the first one was we increase abortion facility safety standards so we don't have a Kermit Gosnell type situation in Texas. We're already hearing about some situations where we might have already experienced that, but we wanted to take steps to where something like that happened in that House of Horrors doesn't happen here in Texas. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to require RU 486 abortions be done according to FDA safety standards. The third thing is we require physicians who perform abortions to be qualified to treat life-threatening complications in case they botch the abortion or something happens. So basic standard of care. And then the fourth thing, which got a lot of the media attention, is to ban all abortions after 20 weeks with the realization and scientific backing that those babies, those preborn babies, can feel pain. And once you feel pain, I think that humanizes that child to a lot of people. And the overwhelming amount of Texans and Americans feel like we shouldn't be doing that to preborn children who can feel pain.
Now, I know the three of those four should be really non-controversial, but obviously even those were controversial and opposed by the pro-abortion advocates there in Texas. But it seems like everyone would be wanting to have doctors that knew how to engage in and perform emergency procedures, that clinics ought to reach certain safety standards. But the fact is, if you put these clinics up to the very basic minimum standards of safety, many of them will close because they're operating in substandard situations.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. If you're truly pro-woman and looking out for the best interests of the woman, why would you not want a clinic to attain to basic safety and health measures? I don't understand that. And that was one of the lines that we kept hearing is you're forcing all these abortion clinics to shut down with this bill. No, we're not forcing them to. We're just saying if you're going to operate, you need to do it at a certain minimum level. And I have no doubts that they will come up and meet those minimums. But if they don't, that's their choice, not our forcing them to do that.
Now, I've read information from researchers regarding pain at 20 weeks, and one of the things that has been indicated is that at 20 weeks, those pain sensors are fully developed, but the pain repressors are not. So, for example, in a fully developed human, say in your case or my case, when we have a severe injury that would be excruciating, we have a suppressor system in our bodies that actually suppresses the pain levels, sort of like a governor on an engine. But babies at 20 weeks have the ability to feel that excruciating pain, but they don't have the suppressor. So, frankly, the pain is going to be at a much greater level for 20 weeks than any other time.
I had not heard that, but that makes it even worse. And one of the things that was brought out during our debate is by 20 weeks, a preborn child can know the mother's voice, can hear and distinguish between the mother's voice and everybody else's. So as one of my colleagues brought out, the last sound that a aborted child at 20 weeks ever hears is the voice of their mother. And, that's pretty powerful that you're right. The pain from what you just said is even more intense than we would feel it, and it's being done to them by their mother and the only person in the world that they can understand and know inside the womb.
Well, what was it like to be in the midst of that, where you had people praying and you also had people on the other side that were shouting things such as "Hail Satan," shouting into people's ears? You got some video of some people shouting into the ears of those that were praying while they were praying.
That's right. That's right. As I looked down from the House chamber onto the rotunda below, you could see a bunch of pro-life individuals in blue shirts sitting there praying, peacefully making their point, and then you had those in the orange shirts, and they were chanting and doing their normal chants, but one lady was yelling right in the ear of one of the people who were praying. So it just went overboard so many times, and it was pretty crazy. The last night when they voted on the bill in the Senate, myself and two of my other colleagues who were in the Senate chamber the entire time, we were escorted down to our offices by DPS officers because they felt like it was going to be unsafe for any pro-life legislators or protesters to go down there by themselves. So it was a lot of vitriol, a lot of hatred, saw a lot of things I never imagined seeing in my first session, but it was an absolute honor to do that and be in that chamber to cast that vote for life, knowing that for such a time as this, the Lord allowed me to be there.
Well, this was your freshman year in the session, and in fact, you're still in special session as we speak. So the session has gone long with some other issues that you have to address, transportation and so forth. But after your first session, you were one of the members of the House that was actually receiving the 100% award for the most conservative legislator. And I think also on the pro-abortion side, or the other, I'm not sure what other organization, they gave you a 0% rating. So they, you got 100% from those who felt you were conservative, and I guess a 0% from those who were on the pro-abortion or the so-called LGBT agenda.
Right, that was Equality Texas, who the LGBT group, who named me the worst legislator of the year in the House, and on a scale from A to F, actually got an F minus, and I got -4 points on a scale of 0 to 100. So they really did not like me.
Well, that's a badge of honor. We need people like you in the State House of Texas and all over the country. Of course, you're a graduate of Liberty University School of Law. Also worked with Liberty Counsel while you were in school, and then for several years afterward was a litigation counsel for Liberty Counsel right there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And you've always had a desire to go into politics. And in 2012, you won the State House election, and I know that in the near future, governor, I think, is somewhere down your path.
We'll see what doors the Lord opens, but I'm honored to be here right now. But I had a fantastic time attending Liberty University School of Law. I would encourage anybody thinking about law school to look there, and really enjoyed my time with you and Anita and everybody there at Liberty Counsel. It's one of the greatest times of Jenny and I's life, and it was an honor to work with y'all.
Well, you're a hero in our eyes. What would you say to some of the people that are listening about what happened in Texas and the significance of this particular bill that happened there during this legislative session?
You know, that the fight continues, and as we see science and education catch up with one viewpoint, it most definitely goes pro-life. And so that's one thing that the ones on the other side could never get past, is that science is showing every day that life is life earlier and earlier. It's catching up with our faith and our moral suppositions. And so just keep going with boldness, because science and technology is catching up with our side. And even though you get a lot of vitriol and hatred, that's just a small segment of people who are paid to be there or bused in there. That does not represent all of, in our case, Texas or all of America. The pro-life side and movement is winning, and we just need to keep going forward to make sure we protect the most innocent in our society.
Well, you know, the pro-abortion side here really showed their true colors with the Hail Satan and the vitriol, trying to bring in, anyway, they got stopped by the security guards, urine and feces and shouting in people's ears while they're praying. That really shows the dark side, which is the actual side of abortion, because it's really a culture of death. And I think it was a sign to the country. And this country now in this 2013 has passed more pro-life legislation than in any previous year. So you're part of that, and I want to thank you for standing up. And I know many more opportunities lie ahead for you. Thank you, Matt Krause, for your example and for your courage.
Thank you, and thanks for the great work Liberty Counsel continues to do. Looking forward to y'all's case with the Obamacare going forward, and all the good things that y'all are doing out there in Virginia.
Well, that was Matt Krause. He is a state representative in Texas. This is his freshman year. He was part of that particular legislation, co-sponsor of that bill, and he was one of the people that spent sleepless nights getting this bill through. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lifeunited.org. That's our pro-life website, lifeunited.org, and that's where we combine a lot of pro-life resources in conjunction with other pro-life organizations, including the Duggar family with the 19 Kids and Counting TV reality show. That's all part of this particular website. You also can go to lc.org to learn more about Liberty Counsel and continue to support us as we continue to advance the sanctity of human life from conception until natural death.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.